Hi everyone, this is Hope with Designs by Hope Yoder with a Craft and Cut Fundamental 14 video. In this video we're going to be talking about basic editing. So let's go ahead and get started, and in the 264 designs that came with your machine, I've imported them that came with your Craft and Cut, I've imported them to the Hope Yoder library. And so I'm just going to pull this clothesline design in here to show you some of the basic editing features. So let's talk about this. When I select the design, I have the layers window, and here you can see all the different colors or layers. And up top is the properties. So let's just select this dress. So on the dress, I can select the properties, and in the properties window I have a fill. It just fills it with color for a visual, or I can unfill it to help me design a little better. So we'll fill this back in. You also have the, let me click over here. You also have the artwork pen property. So this gives you the solid, and again, these are just visual lines. So if we keep it with a solid, and then the pen width, let me go to unfill it so you can see this better. Now if I go in to the, and again, I'll unfill this, apply, and now I'll come into the pen. And the pen width is at 0. Look what happens to the dress when I put this at 4. That's a really large representation of the line. So depending on how I want to look at this, this really isn't going to change the cut file. It's just how you see it. You can see it with round corners. You know, you've got your different icons. You've got your different functions here. You can just kind of play around with them. In the properties window, transform, this is the one that I use more than anything. You can look in inches or in millimeters. So in inches, if I want this dress to be enlarged by 110%, I can do this. Or I can simply type in the amount that I want and apply. If I want to scale this so it's not proportional, so for instance, if I want my dress to be skinnier, I can do that. So you've got different functions in the property window. With this dress, in the layers window, I can hide all of the layers except for the one that I'm working with. They don't go away, it's just they're not active, so I can't use them. So this dress, I could take the dress and I could also just drag it this way and do whatever I want to the dress. So notice how this is higher. I can flip this horizontally, which also is the same thing as mirror imaging it. I can rotate it and I can flip it on end vertically. I can rotate it left, or I can rotate it right. So you have a lot of options for that. So let me kind of go back. I will hide this layer and we'll just see a couple of the other layers. So with these, you also have spacing. So if you look at how far apart these items are, I can select all of the closed items by holding down Control, and then I can space them by using this drop-down menu, and I can space them equally distanced horizontally. So if you notice what happened here, by choosing that icon. I also can use some of the centering or alignment tools. Whoops, let's go back. I've got these selected. I'm going to, instead of clicking right on this, click on the drop-down menu so that I can get them all to be in line. Let me hold that clothesline, or hide that rather. So again, I have my different items. If I wanted them to be all on top of each other, I could do this. Obviously that's not something that I would want, but you have these alignment tools. If I wanted to group these together, I can do this two ways. There's a new update that has added grouping, and I can group these so that now if I move one, they all move. Let me go back here. And so you can group it two ways, actually three ways. I can also select the group icon, or I can right-click anywhere in the area and group it this way. To ungroup it, Again, I can do it one of three ways. I can simply select Ungroup, and now I've got my different objects that I can move however I want. One last time, let's go over this again. If we want to space them equal distance apart, I have this. If I want to line them up all on the bottom, I've got my different alignment tools. And there you go. So there's some basic editing features that I think that you will use a lot in this area.